This brake reservoir is split into two. So the front side has got the front brakes on it, and the back side's got the back brakes on it. So you can see the fluid's pretty clean because I already sucked out the old fluid and have pumped out on the other brakes, but that one bleeder screw wasn't working. If you come over here to the other side, you can see where the brake line goes to the back brakes. Right here. That's to the back brakes, and then this one's to the front brakes. Simple as that. I had a bleeder screw that got plugged, so I had to buy a new one down at Napa. There's a hole that you can't really see because it's rusted up in the side of this thing. I can't even find it anymore, dude. But it got plugged up, so I couldn't bleed the old fluid out of the back side of the brakes, so we didn't start doing the video. I went ahead and pulled it out and put the new one in, and had to tighten it pretty tough to get it to bear down. Can you see that down there? The fluid that came out, it's got all the little parts of rust in it. Anyway, as I was telling my son here, brake fluid is hygroscopic. It absorbs water, and so you can get rust inside. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to bleed whatever air got into the line and into the caliper. Bleed it out. Wow, that's a much smaller diameter than this one, the original one was. So I'm going to have to find a different hose to slip on there because that thing's too small. But yeah, then we'll do the bleeding process. Old school. Found a black rubber tube that works better, but I want to be able to see the air bubbles coming out, so I know I got all the air out of the air bubbles coming through the tube. You can pick up tubing like this at Advanced Auto Parts, Napa. And you just got to get the correct size, get clear tubing, and then stick it in a box for the next time. So what my son's going to do, he's going to go into the car. I'm going to tell him down. He's going to push down. I'm going to open this up at the same time. Hold this in there. And then I'm going to tighten it. He's going to say up. He's going to lift the brake pedal up. You know, just simple brake bleeding. Time consuming, but it's got to be done. So this is the dirty brake fluid. We're going to continue bleeding until it turns clear. So we have a pretty good, I got a pretty good feeling that it's clear, but I want to make sure. Doesn't make a mess here. Don't let anybody lie to you. This is a messy job. I think I can get this one. And this brake fluid will eat through paint. It'll eat through most anything except some plastics. This plastic container obviously is works because it's still intact, but I bet it's gotten brittle. I'm gonna throw it away after this time. Got to recycle the brake fluid properly. You can't just throw it away. It's toxic stuff. Alright, let me get rid of this big tub before we start again. I don't want to dump the whole thing on the ground. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
It's looking pretty good. Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a bluish tint to it. Do it a couple more times just for good order. Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
up,
up,
down,
down,
up.
up.
The reason you do this is, like I said, it's hygroscopic, so it absorbs the water and it'll rust the stuff inside. As it already did on this one because I hadn't flushed it soon enough. So that's it for this side, except we gotta do the brake pads now. 12 millimeter for the back caliper. Got a 3/8 inch socket on a adapter so that I got the extra torque for my 1/2 inch breaker bar. That way. Since I already broke it loose, I might just get the ratchet. Well, looks like it'll fit there. Little foot action. Don't try this at home. You gotta have a good feel for the foot action thing. I have my 1/2 inch ratchet. Let's see if it's loose enough for the 3/8. Ah. I'm planning on a workout today. So this is going to be pretty tight on there. It's going to be squeezing pretty tight because we've been bleeding,
Brakes.
pumping on the brakes. So what I do is, since the piston's on this side and it's pushing this direction, I just pull the whole caliper this way, like that.
Which depresses the pistons.
Yep, pushes the pistons in just enough to make it loose. I'll put them on the stool tray here, Bubba. Thanks. Slide it off. Brake pads. There's the piston. A little rusty. Gotta push that in. So, take this pad out. Not so bad on the back. I don't know, we want to replace these. Still got a lot of life in that one. It's got the squeaker on it. Let's see how good this one is. Regardless, we'll grease up the slides. Well, that's not good for the brakes. That one's pretty good too. The irony of brakes is when they start squealing, it's because of this rust in here. It just starts vibrating, and the rust actually causes the squealing, so you want to have grease in there. Being careful not to get grease on the actual pad. That's your squealer right there. When the pad gets down low enough, this thing starts rubbing against the disc and causes the squealing brakes, so that you don't go all the way down to the metal portion of the pad. Yeah, it looks like our back brakes are good, which is good. We just have to put those good ones back in the bag. Let's save them for another time. Label them 2008 Acura MDX. like I said, I am going to grease these things. Now I'm going to put them in the same location. I'm going to put the inside one on the inside and the outside one on the outside, because they've broken in and they've worn to that side of the rotor. Yeah, we got plenty of. The other thing I got to do, if you want to point the camera here, Bubba, I'm gonna pull these little rubber plugs out and adjust the parking brake that's on the inside, because the parking brake's all the way down to the floor. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Clean out the slides here a little bit. Get some of that dust and rust out there. Do the same for the ends on the pads. You can see on these Akebonos, they got this plastic piece here, and that's to keep the rusty parts on the caliper from rusting to this and causing squealing. That's the reason for those plastic pieces. Really nice feature of the Akebono. So you can see where the wear point is right there. So that's where I'm gonna put it. Dogs are going nuts inside. This is synthetic brake parts lubricant. It's made for high temperatures so it won't melt and get on the brake pad. Gotta be careful not to get it on the disc. Where are you at? There you are. For good measure, I'm just going to put some on the tips of the pads here. And I got to clean my fingers off so I don't get any on the pad itself or any on the rotor. Hopefully it'll help keep down the rust too. Let's see how much I got on my fingers. A little bit. Alright, that's where the piston is. Remember, that's the outboard or inboard. I'll show you how to slide it in on the outboard side. This can be tricky. They don't like to slide in too easy. There we go. You gotta get it around this caliper right here. It's always fun. Now, if we didn't have the plastic pieces on here, I'd probably go ahead and grease caliper portions that rest up against these, but since we got that plastic, I don't have to worry about that. These right here press in. You gotta make sure those are pressed in, or else the caliper will not go on nicely. Make sure they're squeezed together and slide it on, and then put your bolts back in and tighten her up. Got that other bolt on. You can see right here where it's got that flat edge. There's a flat edge in here too that keeps it from spinning when you're tightening it up. So you want to make sure that usually they stay in place, but you definitely want to make sure that it's lined up so you're not tightening it up the wrong way. Righty tighty. Supposed to be snugged up to about 90 foot-pounds, I think. Let me see that breaker bar. Get a little bit more on there. You really don't have risk of stripping these things out, but you want to make sure they're tight. Wrong way. Of course, my sleeves covering up. Rotate the socket and give you an extra room. There you go. The reason this has got that little hole in there so you can loosen up the, sometimes they set into place from dirt or whatever, but it's just a little plug that pops in there. You rotate it like that and it breaks the rubber free. They're fun putting in because if you pop it all the way in, then you're taking the entire drum off, which you can tell by this, it's not a fun thing to do. I may need some needle nose pliers to pull this thing out. Rough on the fingers. Little star wheel. Right
There she is.
there. You gotta put it in there. And you gotta do it by feel basically. You just need to find it. Flat. Yeah. It's got a little detent in it that holds the star in place. So you gotta get past that detent. The first time, of course, is always the toughest. There it went. Heard it. Now let me see. If I screw it this way, it's gonna go out, which is what I want.
So up to make it go out.
To make it tighter.
To make it tighter, and down to
think.
make it looser.
We'll find out. Takes a while to get the rhythm of it because as it rotates, it wants to, can you hear that detent clicking? I couldn't that time. Wrench is rattling on there. Oh, that's the lug nuts rattling on the bottom of the tool. Man, this is... You can see why people don't do this. You know, I need something with a wider blade. Ask and you shall receive, huh?
Yep.
I think I'm in the right place. Oh, that's why. It's tight.
Very tight. And the parking brake's not even on.
No.
Not the parking brake, the emergency brake.
No, it's parking brake. I guess you could call it emergency brake too. Depends on the situation that you're using it, I guess. You want to get it tight though, so that you seat the other end of the shoes. You want to tighten it up so that the other pivot point of the shoes get pushed in and the thing gets centered on the drum. Because if you do it just until it's snug, then you'll find out that you... Alright. You can hear it rubbing a little bit in there, but that, you know how far that brake goes down. Yeah, but it's loose. You can see it tears up the rubber. Tear it up too much. Straight at the bottom. Oh, easy.
You can hear the detents.
Okay. Tight. Oh, I know it's tight. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that emergency brake down hard. Let's see how much it rubs. I think that's more of that. that rubbing. Because that emergency, that pedal went way down. I don't want to have. I'm just guessing now. I'm even near there. Spun that thing so many times. Back down on my knees so I can see. There it is. You gotta be careful because there's a spring in there right behind the star wheel, and you don't want to catch on that. It's part of the, it's what holds the brake shoes together, so you don't want to bend that. Too tight. I'm just going to do this until I can turn it. Let's go over to the other side. It'd be really nice if I could get my finger in there and feel it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do right now. Oh no, that's a little tight. And do the brake one more time. Push it down tight, release. Try that. So they're a little snug, but the brake pedal's not going down less than halfway, so I'm doing this for other MDX owners that may not know what they're getting into. Whatever you do, don't try to push in on the center of this plug when you're inserting it. You want to work it in so you don't push it all the way through like that, because if you just say, oh, I'll just push it in, sure as anything it'll go all the way in, and then you're removing all of the caliper, getting this nut off, undoing these screws, which hopefully haven't rusted on you, and pulling the entire hub and disc assembly off. Don't ask me how I know. Anyhow, that's it. It's just the basics on a MDX. This is a 2008 Acura all-wheel drive, and you can see what you're getting into a little bit more. Thanks for watching. Click and subscribe if you want to see other things on a 2008 MDX. Got a 2012 Tahoe I'll be working on, and the scary one, the 2021 Cadillac XT5 with so many bells and whistles. I know those things are going to start giving me a headache. Anyway, thanks for watching.